Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's talk about the JP livestream that happened January 29th. This was the first kind of major livestream of 2022, the biggest one since the second anniversary. This was joined by producer Hirono, the voice actor for Mont, Mr. Ono. And so a lot of people were expecting big stuff from this livestream. In the notes in Twitter before they did the live stream, they did not mention any collaborations, so that's why I didn't think there was going to be any collaborations. I thought it would be too early to announce Valentine's, and I don't think they need to take a live stream to do that. Some people were thinking that there would be a new character ascension level or something. I've been seeing a lot of talk saying that Arstoria is the ultimate, strongest, cost 100, level 120 character possible, and so there's no other way to go but with a new Ascension level. I think that's silly. I think there's a lot more design that can happen within this space. I said this before, but my theory is that they went with the early announcement of EX jobs at first anniversary to get that pain out of the way, so they wouldn't have to announce it here at second anniversary or a little bit after. And have kind of a more peaceful time this second anniversary, which is what is happening now, I think. One interesting thought experiment is to think how would the game have gone, and then how would the player base have taken it if at first year they announced Subvision cards and Trustmaster runes, and then at the second anniversary they announced EX jobs. It's kind of fun to think. Also, previous to this live stream, they showed the silhouette of this character to be released. I saw the silhouette and my first immediate thought was Leela. There are other hints here. Say it's a popular character. Also says that it is a kind of a younger female. And then I saw the hood on the character there, and I thought it was Leela. That turned out to be right. There was a data mine. I don't know who did the data mine, but the image, the news of the image, it got over to the JP community as well. And it's very interesting to see how the different communities reacted to it, because everything that I saw on Twitter was supposing that the image was a leak from the company. Folks on the global side knew that it was not. It was a data mine taken from the game's files. But it just goes to show how little data mining that they do in the JP community, because it wasn't even in their vocabulary. It wasn't even a possibility to consider. They could only consider it a leak from the company. Oh, and one note about Mr. Ono. He was married last year, and then he's now expecting a baby, so congratulations. Okay, first announcement of the night was a new story event to kind of celebrate the release of the new version of Leela. This is very fun and cool, and I take it as a good sign of the game, the game is healthy enough that it can do sort of a kind of a weird side story thing like this. A game that is in trouble is not going to put money into creating this kind of a thing. They would just make the new version of Leela and then say, alright everybody, open your wallets now. But instead we get this story, we get these other characters, we get more illustrations, we get possibly kind of a different sort of a game mode to go with this new character. And yeah, that makes me feel good about the future of the game, that they're able to do this. I've said this before, but when they put money into the game, it's not going into buying Lamborghinis for the developers. A lot of the money goes back into the game, and so what we're seeing here is maybe good profits coming from revenue from the players, and so it's being put back into the game in the form of this side story. But the timeline for this story, it is going to take place before the War of the Visions, the story. So this is like a flashback, and it will center on Detective Leela. She will be investigating a murder case. I saw some people were upset that this kind of past version of Leela is like a higher strength, a higher cost than the War of the Visions current Leela. That doesn't bother me at all. I don't think their rarity at all reflects like their strength in the game. I think that's very fluid and open, and doesn't bother me. Also, some people were complaining that this is the third version of Leela. I don't consider a MR or lower rarity version of a character as counting. This is only the second UR version of Leela, so I'm fine with it. We have two UR versions of like Stern and Kilfei, El Shirel, so yeah, we're still okay. We're not on Leela overload yet. But this answers my question of what the game was going to do with the first of the month characters after the Crystal Fest was over. This was a big question mark in my mind. I put out some possibilities out there. One possibility, which turned out to be this, is that they would stick to the original kind of 5 commitment and then go back to standard pool, cost 100 units. This Leela is a standard pool, cost 100 unit, by the way. Another possibility would be that they would introduce like more story and more characters of the Crystal Fest arc, and then just make that Crystal banner bigger and bigger and bigger with more and more characters. Or they could have started a new Fest banner, so you can have maybe 2 Fest banners going on at the same time. They did not go for that. But yeah, looking at the release of Resnick and then this new version of Leela here, it's maybe clear that in the future all of the first of the month units, at least for a little while, will be kind of like older characters or maybe lower rarity characters with new powerful versions, cost 100. While the middle of the month character releases will be cost 90, and then there'll be new characters from the story, like from Season 2. And I think that's a cool way to go. For a while, we kind of like went off script of the main story of War of the Visions. We had lots of like collaborations and stuff, limited characters for being in that holiday season. And then we had the new Fest Hatcher. And so to kind of come back to like the main story is cool, and I think a lot of people are excited by this. And it'll be fun to see like which characters get the revamped version every month. My prediction for next month is cost 100 Mashiri. But here is the new version of Leela here. Dark Element again, cost 100. A sword-wielding main job, which is attack scaled. And then here is the first slide. Sub-jobs are Paladin and then the Pugilist. Let's see, limit break here. Raise defense penetration, big damage. Will cause blind. And then if the target is blind, they will also get slash resistance down break. So that looks like a pretty good limit break. I am going to skip this character. As much as I like Dark, and as much as I like the voice actress for Leela, Kono Marika, I'm going to skip her. This is in keeping with my plan to sort of just more use the characters that I have. Maybe take my 99s to EX jobs and use them throughout the year. Because the game, it is in the midst of Golden Time, and so all of those older units, they still have their place in PvP. And now is the time to use them, if ever. But, of course, I will do the discount pulls for Leela, and if I happen to get her, I don't know, I might slow build her, just get the bingo board and then the other missions, and then slow build her. When I got the complete set of standard pool cost 100 units done late last year, last one being Jaden, that really felt like I kind of like beat the game. I know it's impossible to beat one of these constantly updated mobile games, but yeah, that was a big turning point, along with getting all the espers. And so like I don't feel a lot of need to pull new characters. Alright, and then tied to the story is going to be a new handout unit, MR, cost 50. This is Wind Element, name is Cyril, and then she has the same axe main job as Summer Kilfei. This is very cool. I'm happy to see MR units come back, and yeah, she should have an impact on selection quests. She might power creep them, make them easier. And I've put off the wind selection quests this far. I might as well wait a little bit more, maybe take Cyril to 120, and then see if that's much easier. Hopefully we get a steady stream of more MR units. Alright, and then they announced the next Esper will be Anima. This is very cool. I hope it's another one of those cost 90 dual element Espers. I really like that idea. Not that the esper is dual element, the vision card, but I like that idea because maybe it will lead to some more creativity there in team building. I wouldn't mind if they released one of these a month. I think the pace so far has been a little bit slow. Okay, and then we have random updates. These are for February and March. First, they're going to change the chaos naming of espers to dark. This is to be more consistent with like Brave Exvius. I'm on board with this, but I didn't have a problem with chaos either way. Next, they'll add a way so that you can move JP points from one character to another. They set at a 3-to-1 rate, which is cool. Next, they will kind of rethink guild battles, more to do with like the season. Maybe they will make a decided time, and then whatever guilds are the top within that time, maybe like 2 months or something, they'll get a special reward like a title or whatever. And then below that, they will add improvements to the Trustmaster rune system. I think there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, like UI stuff in particular. Hopefully that's all taken care of by the time it's released in Global. And what else? Something about guild battles I didn't quite understand, but it was like people like taking advantage of like not being there or not being able to join. They could credit, some of their more powerful teammates somehow. I don't know. Alright, and then last slide was updates that will be closer to the 2.5 anniversary, which should be around May. One will be the release of Linkverse, maybe the beta version. I'll talk about that more when it's actually released and we have something to handle. It'll be interesting to see if it can have English as well, or if there is like sister site or something for the English version. And then match battles, they will add pickup matches. That's one of my favorite game modes, but I guess they've had some trouble making it work beyond like limited time stuff. And even then, they've had to cancel some of them. So yeah, that'll be coming later. Improvements to the team recommendation, and then more slots for the team build, whatever. They recently added a thing where you can save just, 100 teams. You can't use any of them, but you can save them, and then when you do want to use them, you copy-paste them into, Arena or guild battles or whatever, and you can use them there. Okay, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.